Nice. Got the timer going. Okay. How is everybody? This is gonna be a blast from the past, alright? You guys might like this. Maybe. It'll be great, I promise. Uh, let's go to the ROMs list and open up Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Y'all remember when I was doing this shit on DS Moom? Okay. So, because it's been quite a while since I played any DS game for that matter, but especially, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. God, I think it's been 2 years or some shit like that. I think it is appropriate to reestablish the ground rules for how I am going to use this emulator, right? So I know that there's a save state function. I can actually demonstrate right away before I even get to that. DSMoom has a built-in cheat engine, built-in way to implement action replay codes. As you can see, this list is blank. For all intents and purposes, for content purposes, this will remain blank for the entire duration of me playing this game on stream, right? Sometimes I screw around with the action replay codes on for casual gaming off stream. I will not do that. I feel like it sullies the experience from a viewer's perspective, so none of that. Then also, the other major thing is that you can save and load states in this game. There are save states because it's an emulator, which enables you to do things like Taz's in a faster game. In fact, let me actually, real quick, I'm going to double check the audio. I think that's about good. -10, maybe -12, something like that. So, I will not be using the save states because I think that's also kind of cheating. Saving and loading a state, like the fucking quick save, quick load bullshit. What I will do is I'll effectively use save states as extra insurance over a save file. Anytime I save the game, then I will save state immediately after it. Just because sometimes out of force of habit, I will load a save state. And if that happens, then it'll effectively just be like I hit Control R and reset the game. It'll just put me to the last point where I actually physically saved the game, so that again, I won't be using that for nefarious purposes. Those are the ground rules. I also will not be using the speed up function. To the best of my ability, I will avoid holding the spacebar. Spacebar on DSMoom, I believe, is the default, or what I rebind it to be. I think maybe by default it's like tab or something. There's a button you can hold to speed up the emulation of the game to make it go at like 2 times or 4 times speed, or sometimes like even faster. I will not be doing that either. Again, I feel like it sullies the experience, makes everything really, really weird. So I will try to be playing this basically as if you just took a Nintendo DS and made it so that instead of the A, B, X, Y, and then D-pad, I'm controlling it with a keyboard and then using a mouse for the touchscreen. That's the ground rules. So let's get on with it. Let's play Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Blue Rescue Team, which, if you can believe it, I do not have as much of a nostalgic soft spot for this game as Explorers of Time, Darkness, and Sky, because I played Time, Darkness, and Sky first, before I played this game. But nonetheless, I have played this game as well. I might even go back and revisit some other Mystery Dungeon games. I think, Time and Darkness might not be on that list because I played Explorers of Sky, which I think is pretty much just a better version of those two. But who knows? I might go to Mystery Dungeon Gates of Infinity, or even Super Mystery Dungeon, or whatever, other Mystery Dungeon games are out there. Heck, maybe even a few ROM hacks. I know there are some story-driven Pokemon Mystery Dungeon ROM hacks that might be worth a stream. What a beautiful intro. Blue Rescue Team. What's up, Pelipper? Pelipper is my fucking guy in this game. Alright, new game. Let's get the questionnaire started. Welcome. I have several questions. I want you to answer them sincerely. You know what? I'm gonna do that. I think in another on my Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky live streams, I actually answered the questions specifically in a way that would get me an electric type Pokemon, because I wanted to demonstrate just how broken the move Discharge is in the Mystery Dungeon games. Shoutouts to the real ones who know. Mostly being, 1v3 Opium again. I think Xylan as well might know this, members of the community. This time I will be answering these questions sincerely, and I'll probably just go with whatever Pokemon they give me. Unless it's Skitty, because fuck that. Are you ready? Let the interview begin. Can you go into a haunted house? Yeah, sure. Fuck it, I don't believe in ghosts. Do you like pranks? I feel like I would answer this question differently in different contexts. Welcome back, Kalo the Furry. First? Well, you're definitely the first in chat today. Do you like pranks? Like practical jokes? I don't know. Second question, I'm already fucking deliberating what I think that, like, my preferred answer actually is. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean, I'm a big fan of inducing humor into the situation, but I don't usually, I don't know, you know what? Maybe it's because the era of YouTube pranks kind of poisoned the well for me, but nah, I'm not a huge fan of pranks anymore, because a lot of pranks these days will be like, I'm filming this for millions, let me go act like an idiot, or like actually just assault somebody on the street for views or something, and call that a prank. So, not a fan. Do you like to imagine things for your amusement? Yeah, I do that sometimes. Do you like carnivals? My only two options are love them or don't care? Hello, Gotron. Welcome back. Remember when I was in middle school, I jump scared people in the hallway like Five Nights at Freddy's? Okay, that is a funny prank. That kind of prank, I like that. I like that. Ever been to a carnival? I have. It was pretty fun. Damn, that's fucked up. That's pretty funny. Yeah, they're great. Are you a cheerful personality? Fuck no. Can you focus on something you like? Yes, sometimes to the detriment of other things. One of the rare bits of intersection, well, not so rare, I guess, intersections between autism and ADHD is that you have a very hard time holding your attention to something unless it's something you really like, in which case your priorities will actually fly out the window and you'll focus all your attention on that thing, often to the detriment of other things that really need your attention. I'm sure you guys can understand what I'm talking about. I'm sure people have experienced this. Yo, what's up, bro, the boss? Disturbingly accurate? Yeah. Or which you really hate? Yeah. You broke a rotten egg in your room. What will you do? Why is none of these options to, like, go get some cleaning materials for the rotten egg? No, I'm not sniffing that shit. Open a window. Your friend fails to show up for a meeting at the promised time. What do you do? I feel... Okay. Why was the second option to sniff it? You gotta remember, this game is designed for 8-year-olds. But, like, it's also just a cool game. Why can't I throw up? Yeah, wait, why isn't throwing up instantly an option? You know? Because my instinct would be, oh no, a rotten egg. Let me, like, get a paper towel, scoop up what I can, throw it in the trash, and then go get, like, some carpet cleaner, or, because the floor of my room is carpeted, and like, a brush so I can scrub it down, and then, like, all good, no harm, no foul, right? Let my nostrils inspect this egg. I feel like that's some shit that Sajam would say. It's weird, but I read that and in my head I heard Sajam's voice. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Personality be like, you gotta be kidding me. I feel like I would also be like, you gotta be kidding me. Because it's like that psychological thing where there's like really big things, like you're in a car accident or whatever, and you don't actually freak out. You're just like, is everybody okay? Nobody's hurt? You kind of go into like survival mode. You're like, oh shit, okay, is everybody all right? Okay, that's good. Even if there's like thousands of dollars of damage done to your car or whatever. But then it's like you have a nice bowl of spaghetti, you spill the spaghetti and you're fucking livid because it's like, I went through the fucking trouble to make this spaghetti and put the spaghetti sauce on it and shit, and I was gonna have a nice dinner, and now it's all over the fucking floor. You gotta be kidding. You know what I mean? Where like one of these things is clearly more materially detrimental to you than the other one, but that one doesn't get you like really mad, and the relatively trivial one, spilling your nice bowl of spaghetti, gets you insanely mad. Bro, my back hurts. Probably true. Yeah. Also, I feel like all three of these options are like not mutually exclusive with each other. Like I have experienced this where I do both option number 1 and number 2, where I wait patiently and then I get a little bit irritated. So I guess, you know, I would wait patiently, and then, you know, 20 minutes passes. All right, they're fashionably late. Now they're just regular late. I'd get a little bit irritated after that, but yeah, I'd wait. Are you a boy or a girl? Wow, cringe. Doesn't give you a non-binary option? Fuck it. The docile type? What the fuck are you trying to say, game? Damn, the game's fucking glazing me. And then it acknowledges that it's just like glazing you or some shit. Lore accurate fucking Pokemon persona or whatever. Bulbasaur is one of my favorite Pokemon. Game gives me Bulbasaur. Thank you. Bottom. Yeah, game really just told me that I'm a bottom. That's fucked up. Why would you do that? They might be correct. I don't know. Who'd you like to have as a partner? Oh, okay, and I get to pick from this group of, Now, okay, the meta pick would be Pikachu, but this game was made during the Generation 3 years, so Discharge isn't a move yet, so you don't get to, like, do the fucking, I get to wipe out an entire room of Pokemon with this. Like, you don't get to do that. Roll the dice, randomize for your partner. You know what? Sure, we'll do a random number generator. Let's get the how many of them are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we'll do random number generator 1 through 7. Sure, random.org. Fuck it, whatever. Minimum 1, maximum 7. Generate. 7. It told me Mudkip. What is your partner's nickname? Fucking, I don't know. Partner's nickname? No, I'm not. I'm not doing that. Bad. Stop horny posting. We do a little bit of horny posting, I'm not gonna lie. Water gun? That's a move in this game, though. I don't want to name him that. Here, I'll name him. I'll name him. I think this is an endearing name, but it's also very goofy. Mine actually called their cat that? That's fucked up. I'm turning into a Kuma for that shit. Die 1,000 deaths. Angles? You know what? Fuck it. We'll go with that. Yes. Go for it. Where am I? Am I dreaming this? I feel a pleasant breeze. Hopefully not between the knees. I hear a voice from somewhere. I wonder who it is. Excuse me. Please wake up. Come on, wake up. Shit, my alarm went off. You're finally awake. Great. Where is this? Bro is confused. You were passed out there. I'm glad to see you awake. I'm Angles. Glad to meet you. Oh no, he's gonna write a cringe-ass pamphlet about the authority of the state. No! Congratulations, you don't have hands. Fuck. No more opposable digits. I've lost thumb privileges. Never seen you around before. You're a human, but you look like a normal Bulbasaur in every way. Bro is tripping? Oh, you are plant, he is water, you are marks, he is angles. Oh, I get it. That would actually be the scariest part, funny enough for me. Yeah, I feel like people kind of underestimate how fucking terrifying it would be like, oh shit, I've actually lost crucial motor function because I no longer have thumbs on like my front appendages. It's true, you are a Bulbasaur. You have Uno. You're kind of weird. Angles to marks. Your name? What's your name? My name is... Well, obviously it's gonna be Y2K. Because I'm the streamer. And that's literally me in the game. You mean I don't have precise control over my limbs? Well, precise control of your limbs is something you still have. You just don't have opposable digits. Seriously, opposable digits are responsible for so fucking much that like humans are able to do. You know? Sure. Y2K and their cringe-ass friend Angles. Somebody please help me. I hear shouts from over there. What's wrong? It's horrible. My Caterpie fell into a cavern. My poor baby. A huge fissure opened up in the ground, and my Caterpie fell in. You know what's kind of fucked up? I instantly thought of that one scene in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, right? Spider-Verse from 2022 or 3. I actually forget which year. It's probably 2023. Where they're looking at like the spots, like that anomaly or whatever, that big splotchy black anomaly, and it's like consuming the building, and they're like, "What is that?" And Hobie just looks at it, and it's like, it's a metaphor for capitalism. And I'm just imagining the fissure opens up, and I'm looking down, and they're like, "Yep, it's a metaphor for capitalism." And then meanwhile, this Caterpie is just fucking going through it at the bottom of this canyon or some shit. You're attacked by other Pokemon. They must be enraged by the fissure and out of control. That's what I think. I'm not strong enough to fend off those wild Pokemon. Maybe only an octopus would be chillier than primates. Yeah, probably. I would try to convince them that my name was Jotaro. Imagine if you, like, said, yeah, my name's Jotaro, and you, like, tried to sell it by acting like Jotaro. But none of them know what JoJo is. They're prepared to, like, it's completely different world. You're saying you're a human, but you've turned into a Pokemon. For all they know, that's just really your name. You don't have to sell it. But then, like, you want to be Jotaro from JoJo's, so you just start acting like that. He's being attacked by gangsters? Yeah, he fucking fell into Chicago or something. Tiny woods. This doesn't seem like giant fissure that opened up in the ground. Head for the destination while attacking foes with A. I know how to play Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. You could press A. Or you could go into the moves menu, which I intend to do. So, okay. Let me position my keyboard so I can actually, like... There we go. Fuck! There's my microphone. It's kind of awkward to have it like this. Oh, this is very slow. Game option. They have to keep jumping constantly. Yeah, I really do like that. I think that's cute. Let me just... I'll have the microphone there. Others? No, that's not what I'm thinking of. Dungeon. There we go. Slow, fast, self, look, damage turn, yes. Grids on. Display mode. Wait, okay. Top screen, team data, bottom screen, clear. Okay, yeah, I like this display format. Change settings. Yes. Thank you. Hats off to you. Thank you. How many hats do you have? Well, I haven't counted them, but I have a pretty decent amount. More than half a dozen. Oh, I got money. Damn, the game really be telling you money can be exchanged for goods and services. It's like, shit, alright. Oh, I tried to use a feature that I don't think is in this game. Where, just murdered a bird. Put 2 hats on, 3 hats. Okay. Just give me a sec. I need to check the options. Or something. No, I don't want to reset that. Does it not have, like, no, it doesn't have... Okay, it doesn't have that setting. I'm thinking 4 hats? Alright, now you've just taken it too far. This is not Team Fortress 2. I can't just do that. Everybody's redeeming hats off to you, and yeah, sure, fuck it. Just increase the number of hats. All right. Oh shit, leveled up. Nice. 7 hats. How are you just gonna like spend all your channel points and be like, put on more hats, even more hats? Like, okay. You skip straight to 10. Okay. I don't have any items. Next floor. I think there's only like 3 floors in this dungeon. They start you off real easy. You owe us 10 hats. No. I'm gonna be real with you. No. Honestly, if you had stopped at 3 or 4, I would go for it, but no. I'm not trying to fucking balance 10 hats. That can't even fit on the fucking webcam. You wouldn't even be able to see that if I did it. Then give me back my points. Not sorry, it's too late. It was a funny bit, though. How weird would it be to see stairs in the middle of the woods that goes straight down? Yeah, fucking imagine. It's like some creepypasta shit. You know how there's like that urban legend or whatever of all the staircases in the woods that like go to nowhere? And there's a whole ass champagne socialist? Hey, I'm not the one who like assumed that like if I donate channel points to streamer, I can bribe him into wearing more hats than is ever reasonable outside of Team Fortress. You know, I don't know who put that idea in your head, but it was not me. Yeah, it'd be like some demon shit, like Demon of the Forest shit. If streamer put redeem there, he knows what he is doing. At least put 5 on. No. Sorry, it's too late for that. The hats off thing is just like that's not the put hats on button. Like that's not what that is. 4? No. It's like I said, it's too late for that bit. You took it too far. The left has gone too far, and now I'm a Nazi. I feel bullied, really. I will be shaving my head and tattooing a swastika on my arm. All because the radical left went way too far, or something. It says, I put on a hat or mask until someone makes me put on another one. Wait, what? So change 10 hats. Okay, that I will do. If that's actually, I didn't read that one super closely. I think that's like a default thing. Yeah, all right. I'm going to go get 10 hats from my drawer and then just like change through them so you guys can see what's up, what kind of hats I got. Okay. Yeah. Fucking thing fell off. I don't know if there's anything. I'm getting the hats. There's just a couple extra parts that demand my attention here. Is the problem. Is this even the right? No, this is the right side, right? Like I have to. Yeah, okay. That's it there. This, okay. That's good, so that's 6. That's 6. 7, 8. Let's try and make them like good ones. Where's the one hat that I had that was like? Hold on, I think it might be in the closet. I'm re-entering the closet, chat. No longer, well, I was gonna say I'm no longer gay, but that's not what being in the closet means. It means you haven't admitted that you're gay yet. Okay, these are good hats. Tally. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I'm coming over, and I have my hats. All right. We ought to clip this? Yes, somebody clip this. We won. The revolution has been successful. I'm just doing what it said in the description. Okay, so I'm gonna go through these hats. This is I got this on a beach trip. I like bucket hats. Here, I think this goes on like so. Okay, that's 1, right? 1 out of 10. Maybe you haven't admitted it to yourself. No, I have. I am gay. I've been out for a long time. Okay, so there's 1. White man safari hat? Nah, this is white guy at the beach hat. I always, like my dad and my granddad, they'll always wear a hat like this at the beach, and I think it looks great. Because you know that, like, the white guys that are at the beach with their kids wearing a hat like this, you know they're having the time of their fucking lives, you know? And I aspire to that. Now I think about it, if you try to wear 10 hats, wouldn't some of them fall off? Yes. So, okay, that's 1. Here's number 2. What? Y'all know about Team Fortress 2? Look at that, Team Blue. My favorite streamer is a woke leftist gay man. What does the world come to? That's true. You can't even enjoy a good Twitch stream now because of woke. All right, that's number 2. Number 3, same thing, but now Team Red. This is a TF2 reference. Yes. I think I got these either at MagFest or SmashCon, and I was like, that's so cool. And so I never usually wear them because what used to happen, what I used to do, again, OGs will know this, is I used to get a buzz cut whenever my hair grew too long. So there'd be a good several months where I could just wear hats all the time, and it was great. But now my hair's a little bit too long for me to do that without getting like hat hair. Red team, also Team Fortress 2, so that's 3. Then, actually, in retrospect, there's one hat in here that I think I should get a different one instead of that. This one I wore with my Halloween costume. This is the Pokemon Trainer Red hat. Gray team? No, I don't have 3 Team Fortress 2 hats. This one is Pokemon Trainer Red. I got this one. I got most of the costume for Red, like, custom made, and it's, like, actual clothes and shit, so it's, like, cool. Right? You can also, you wear it backwards. I know Red, for a good chunk of the manga in Pokemon, he actually wears his hat backwards. Imagine being named for a color. Couldn't be me. Man versus machine? True. Yeah, actually, I'm going to do that right now. This is a hat. I'll show this hat. This is a hat I got at SmashCon. Supernova. But I actually don't think it looks great. It's just a regular-ass hat. I'm going to grab another hat. Okay, this is a good one, I think. All right. Then this hat, of course. Everybody knows what this hat is. I don't even got to say it. And of course, you know, playing into the meme. Yes, Ushanka. This actually has flaps on the side, and they're tied at the top here. Yes, it does also have the hammer and sickle pin. This one was also part of a Halloween costume. I dressed as a Bolshevik soldier. I got the trench coat and like work boots and like olive colored like shirt and like pants for it with the whole 9 yards. My sister even did makeup for me. She made it look like it was my face was like caked in dirt and whatever. So the classic for any communist worth their salt, you have to have one of these, just if nothing else for the meme. All right, so that was number 5. Number 6, this I think is also a Ushanka, but it's a much more practical version, I think. There's a strap here. Check this out. This is my preferred Ushanka. There's a strap at the bottom of each flap here. You could put it under your chin like this, or you could bring it up like so. I usually leave it down at the sides because of this. This is a hat I wear for like when it's really cold outside, right? This actually comes across. There's a little mouth guard. There we go. So if I'm wearing a really heavy coat or something like that, I'll wear this hat. And if it's sufficiently cold, it actually got this cold on occasion when I was in college. It's a COVID-19 hat, like maybe a little bit. When I was in college, up in Pennsylvania, here, let me move these hats over the bed here. There. When I was in college up in Pennsylvania, there was actually a couple of days, very rarely, but it happened, where it was sufficiently cold that I had to not only wear that hat, but wear goggles. You know, again, OGs will know this. There was a live stream where I was playing Pokemon Mystery Dungeon where I wore a pair of Barnstormer goggles with like this nice kind of plush leather around the edges, and then like it was like acrylic plastic lenses. It was so cold that I had to wear my heaviest coat and like lined jeans, like jeans that were lined with like fleece or something on the inside, that hat with the mouth guard up and a pair of goggles. Like, legitimately, I felt like my eyes were gonna freeze off if I was exposed to that air for so long. And I was so wrapped up. Like, my goggles got obscured with sweat and shit, so I could barely see where I was going when it was that cold outside. None of my roommates recognized me when I walked in the building because they couldn't see, like, none of my face was visible. So fascinating that streamers have such interesting lives. I'm glad that, like, I have these funny stories to share. Anyways. So that was number 6. Here's number 7. This is a hat that I used to wear all the time. Again, particularly in college when my hair was super short. This is kind of like a jogging cap. This used to be my dad's, and then he gave it to me. And then this is actually the hat that I wore to go get my passport photo taken. And back in the day, like, unshaved 19-year-old me, not getting that good of sleep, I looked shady as fuck. So this is another hat that I used to wear frequently. It's very practical hat. Doesn't take up a lot of space. Jesse Vini. I mean, yeah. Kind of. And then number 8. Just a nice little cap like so. You could, this is, in some way, you could say, like, this is the fucking pretentious ass art student hat or whatever that you would wear with, like, the jean jacket or whatever the fuck, the annoying ass theater kids would wear this. Yeah, Lennon style cap. I usually wore this with, like, heavier clothing. So it was more like, I don't know, the workman's kind of cap. I also wore this in middle school when I had to, like, do dress up for, like, okay, we're all gonna be immigrants going through Ellis Island today. And so I dressed just as, like, a random Irishman with this hat, and I didn't fucking have my papers. So the classic immigrant experience. They were like, all right, you're gonna go with the immigration officer because you don't have your papers. And I was like, shit. Now number 9, same kind of hat. This one was my grandfather's. This was my granddad's hat that he gave to me. Makes me think of the artist with the paintbrush. Yeah. I think this one is a little bit less evocative of that, because this one is not the same kind of material. Even more Lenin style? Well, my grandfather was a socialist, so that fits. I mean, there's fucking stories from my family of when he worked at a bank. He was like he worked, I think, in the personnel department or something. And there's a story in the family where he, like, went on a giant rant about vous les banquiers, you the bankers, or some shit like that. It was great. And I miss him so much. But I have this nice hat to remember him by. It's actually a little bit small for my head. Socialist in a bank? Champagne? He was not a champagne socialist, I can assure you that. Being a champagne socialist is not just when you're a socialist and also a member of the middle classes or upper middle classes. It means something distinct. And I assure you he was not that kind of socialist. And number 10. This is the hat from Hoth, from Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back. And also they use this hat for Scarif, for the rebel incursion on Scarif in Rogue One. This is a, like, real ass, again, another, like, favorite of mine for the winter. This is like a real ass practical hat that I would wear all the time. And again, it has this thing. Desert Ushanka? No, it's still just a Ushanka. They wore this in the snow. And for some reason on like the beaches. I don't know, it's just a pretty versatile hat. So that's cool. Alright, there's your 10 hats, you mongrels. Yeah, but meanwhile, in the fucking Pokemon game, they're like, we got a child to save or something. What are you doing lollygagging around? Right? This has been the stream session where I try on a bunch of hats because of the the thing. Although I guess the hats off did specify that I would wear one of the hats until somebody told me to change out of them, right? So I gotta pick one of these to wear. Sure, fuck it. We're going white guy at the beach mode. Pick the fluffy one, please. Dear God, no. Absolutely not. Look, I gave you your 10 hat bonanza. I'm not wearing a winter hat in 70-something degree humid ass Virginia weather. All right, I'm wearing something more appropriate for the occasion, which is the white guy bucket hat. I find this hat much more whimsical. Imagine what it would feel like to stand up as a four-legged creature. Probably similar to if you, like, did the same thing as a biped, but it, like, wouldn't hurt your back. So it might be, like, fine. It'd probably feel weird, but, like, I don't know. I'd probably be okay with it. Okay. I no longer have sound cues. I can't wear my headset while wearing this hat, so we're just gonna roll with it. Wait, was that? Okay, that was another item. I don't want to go yet. I want to see if there is... No, okay, that doesn't seem like there's much of anything. Get out of here. No, I missed. I missed again. The mysterious stairs on the floor? Yeah. What, grew to level 7? Shit, alright, I'm just gaining levels in this dungeon. Oh, and that was it. Okay. Damn, Caterpie over here crying for mommy and stuff. Absolutely going through it. We came to rescue you. Your mom's waiting, let's get you out. Okay. I don't know how I could ever thank you properly. That's okay, it's been dangerous lately with sudden quakes and fissures like that one. It's great to find your little boy unharmed. Please may I have your names at least. I'm Engels and this is Y2K. Together, we will write the most rancid-ass political treatise known to man. Okay, not the most. No! Pokemon fucking teaching kids what a parasocial experience is and encouraging that shit? No! Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, no! Don't do that. You're gonna poison the minds of the youth. Token of our thanks, please accept it. An Oranberry, and a Peacherberry, and a Rostberry. Okay, that's nice as a starting thing. And they leave. Now I think about it, it's pretty weird that a parent went up to a child and said, "Save my child." Yeah, it's like, also the fact that the parent, like, wasn't strong enough to go in there, but, like, somehow you are. Pokemon games don't make any fucking sense. Do you have any plans? Well, I was gonna go get some food at the restaurant. Like, bro, you literally watched me fall, like, out of the sky or some shit and have, like, no memory of what happened before that and think that I was a human. Do you think I have plans? Like... My plan is to freestyle the course as an agent of chaos. Now we're talking. This is the place. Oh, look at that. It's a house. It looks like an onion. I'm a human being, but I like this place. What are you prefacing that with? I'm a human being, but can you not just like it? Damn. Oh yeah, true. Sketchy ass stranger. Like the first, like, hey, do you want to like sleep in my house? Fucking, we've only known each other for less than an hour. Like, damn. All right. He's talking about wagging his tail or some shit. These guys are getting freaky. Plot twist: the main character is racist. Fair assumption, given this game is made by a Japanese dev team. This is your mailbox. They deliver mail from Pokemon here. One of the coolest features of this game is that you have a mailbox. It's like, you have mail. Oh, let me look at the mail. And it's like, obviously you're playing a video game, but it's like you physically look at the mail. I don't know why, but I just like that so much. House is prettier than most houses in real life. Yeah, especially if you live in America. Join me on a rescue team. Sure, fuck it. Nothing could possibly go wrong. I mean, we've been just winging it up to this point, right? It's pretty crazy that it doesn't have a door. Well, yeah, I mean, like, Pokemon don't have opposable digits. How are you gonna, like, open a door if you can't grab a doorknob to, like, push it or turn it, right? Team name? Good team name for us. Okay, I gotta make this some diabolical shit. I gotta make the team name some shit that's, like, unhinged. How about the Black Panthers? I don't think there's enough characters for that. Yeah, no. Black Panther. Yeah, no. There's not enough room for that. I don't want to... Okay, here's what's going through... I'm going to walk you through my thought process on this, right? I want to make it a joke, like some kind of short-form joke about communism or Bolshevism or anarchism or something like that. But I don't want it to just be the thing, right? Like, I want it to actually be something kind of clever. That's like a joke about communism. But again, it has to be clever, so I'm not gonna put like team starvation or some shit. Something like 69 million starvation Vuvuzela. I might put Team Vuvuzela. That's funny enough for me to put there. But I don't know what else I could do. ACAB? Team ACAB. I don't know. That's kind of like just the thing, right? Like the all cops are bastards. I don't know if that's clever enough for me to justify it. Hmm. Okay, I thought of one that's like, it's kind of stupid. No, you know what? No, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna make the team a fucking reference to the Holodomor. That's too much. That is truly too much. So that's a limit. I'm not gonna do that. What is that? What? Did you not know about the Holodomor? Okay, I've thought of another one. That's like, you forget I was taught by the American educational system. I don't know anything. Yeah. Okay. Anarcho-juche. No, I don't even. Oh, damn it! I was gonna make it like anarcho-juche because that's like a dumb contradiction, but also funny. Um. Yeah. No. Okay. So the Holodomor was a genocide done by the Soviet Union against primarily Ukrainians, but mostly like it wasn't exclusively Ukrainians that were killed in this genocide, but it was largely that. I think the Soviet Union killed small farmers and small property owners that were designated. I think the Russian word for them was like kulak or something like that. And there were at the time real concerns about grain distribution and whatever, but the Soviet Union basically seized all of their grain from them, which resulted in like millions of people dying. And it's pretty fucking bad. Here, in fact, let me even double check some of that. Holodomor, also known as the Ukrainian famine, was a mass famine in Soviet Ukraine from 1932 to 33 that killed millions of Ukrainians. The Holodomor was part of the wider Soviet famine of 1930 to 1933, which affected the major grain-producing areas of the Soviet Union. While most scholars are in consensus that the main cause of the famine was largely man-made, it remains in dispute whether the Holodomor was intentional, whether it was directed at Ukrainian, and whether it constitutes a genocide, the point of contention being the absence of attested documents explicitly ordering the starvation of any area in the Soviet Union. Some historians conclude that the famine was deliberately engineered by Joseph Stalin to eliminate a Ukrainian independence movement. Others suggest that the famine was primarily the consequence of rapid Soviet industrialization and collectivization of agriculture. A middle position is that the initial causes of the famine were an unintentional byproduct of the process of collectivization, but once it set in, starvation was selectively weaponized, and the famine was instrumentalized and amplified against Ukrainians as a means to punish them for resisting Soviet policies and to suppress their nationalist sentiments. Yeah, I think that fits. So yeah, it was both a consequence of industrialization and also like it kind of like never let a good catastrophe go to waste. The government quickly utilized it for certain purposes. So, but yeah, it was pretty bad. Fucking millions of people died. Realize you could put gender. Yeah, there's the two little gender symbols down there. Okay. Uche Anarch. No, that doesn't even fit. Dang it. I'm gonna be stuck on this fucking screen for forever. Oh, I got one. What if you put Team Theory? That's funny. I think Team Juchemon is like also a good one. Team Theory. I'm going with Juchemon because that's funny. Is that a Digimon reference? No, it is a reference to the North Korean governing ideology of Juchism. Which is a real ideology. I'm not going to say that it is not a real ideology, but it is not communism. I guess the joke being that, like, haha, it's the leftist live stream, and then you make a joke about fake leftism. It's essentially just autarky, economic autarky, which is like total isolationism, and or rather, total isolationism insofar as it is possible from an economic perspective. That is to say, your country almost doesn't interact at all with external markets. So it's your country is economically self-sufficient, which is the governing ideology of North Korea. It's part of why they are uniquely maligned as opposed to other countries, even ones that are known for being authoritarian. You know, it's why people meme on North Korea specifically, is because they are, I think, the only nation in the world to be an autarky economically. There are several countries that are isolated from the global markets, not by their own choice, such as Cuba, that have like sanctions and embargoes on them. But they do trade with other countries where they can't. There are also countries that are, by choice, sort of restricting their interaction with the global markets. And we call that protectionism, because they're trying to do this in a targeted way that lets them build up their industry domestically, so that they would then have capital and leverage and bargaining power to then interact with those other economies and broader markets in a way that, like, doesn't get them immediately undercut and preyed upon by the forces of neocolonialism and global capitalism, right? Autarky is basically the absolute extreme of, like, we're just gonna shut that out entirely, you know? And there are benefits, and there are drawbacks. Like, North Korea might actually be one of the most stable countries on Earth because of their extremely isolated position economically. There is absolutely no credible threat of regime change towards North Korea, nor will there probably be for a very long time, right? But at the same time, you can, all of the available data that we have for North Korea, for what life is like there, indicates that shit is pretty damn miserable, you know? Not to say that they're all starving and dying in the streets or whatever, but they aren't necessarily getting enough to eat. And, you know, for all the ways in which we measure how good life is, North Korea is not measuring up. No, yes, the name Juchimon is fine. Caught, Engels, caught in 4K. Actually, it's not 4K. Caught in fucking 360p. Engels, pro Juche arc. Engels is a Juchist. So you good starting tomorrow. Nice. Honestly, I kind of wonder whether Engels would be a Juchist or not. A lot of Marxists in the 18th or 19th centuries were very critical of... No, actually, no, they wouldn't. I know for a fact the answer to that question is that no, Engels, Marx, and other Marxists were not Juchists at the time, because of the emerging trend was that the interests of the owning classes were globalizing, and so what Marx and Luxemburg particularly argued explicitly was that they need to globalize similarly the interests of the working classes. Otherwise, there will be an extremely asymmetrical relationship, even more so than already existed. When you tell your friend a joke and he has no idea it's a joke, look, this joke needs to be funny to exactly 1.5 people, maybe 2 people, and that's me and fucking non-compete. Right? Those are the only, and non-compete, that's debatable, right? It's funny to me, but non-compete is like the one other person that I could comprehend finding this joke funny. Blue Rescue Team, let's go. Partner's thinking, I like the sound of it, but they don't know what it means. Yeah, true. Alright, I wake up, fucking... Damn, I just fell out of the sky and have nowhere to go. Meanwhile, the suspiciously U-shaped house on the fucking plot. That is so much grass, yeah. I do appreciate that the game is like, oh yeah, this house actually is different based on which starter Pokemon you get. For example, if you get Charmander, this is fire themed. If you get Machop, this is like wood and fighting themed. If you get Totodile or something, this is water themed. You know, they theme it based on that. But I feel like they gotta have like a better way to have you discover this house. I feel like it should just be like, hey, you know, I live right across the way. There's actually a vacant house just outside of town that nobody's using right now. Do you want to, like, have it? I feel like that would have been way better than, like, oh, yeah, this is my house. And, like, how is the, like, ain't no way a Mudkip lives here, right? What would Fairy-type theme look like? I don't know. This game was made much before Fairy-type. I don't know. Probably everything would be pink and there'd be a lot of fluffy carpeting. Why would it be transformed into a Pokemon? Bro is doing self-talk right now. He's just like me, for real. I need more sleep. Oh, he's making his bed? Or what? Oh no, I can move. I can walk around. I will save my adventure, in fact. How worried would you be if you were in this situation? Truthfully, I don't know. Oof, I'm feeling refreshed. Still look like a Pokemon. What is Angles doing? Let's save the game again. Now that I've done all that. Save completed. And then here, I established the ground rules when I started the stream. That is the instance, the sole instance where I will use the save state function after I have just saved the game. You know, no save state, load state fuckery here. Bro, were you just asleep outside? Brother. Came out here at dawn to... Oh, okay, okay. I don't have any job offers yet. Shit. Maybe there's something in the mailbox. Rescue team starter set. Ah, yes, you get like an actual bag to keep shit in. Rescue team badge. There's a toolbox. Toolbox, not a bag. Pokemon news. Bro, this game is truly from a different era. Back when you could actually get the news from the news. First day on the police force? This is not the police force. Look, what you do in this game is much closer to what the fire department does than what the police do. And I'm down with being a member of the fire department. You know? In real life, I don't want to do that. That shit is incredibly hard work. You gotta be on some different shit. But if there were a cop that called themselves a socialist, it would probably be Engels. Probably. I don't know. He wrote on authority. I will never forgive him for that. Mailbox was empty. Okay, no mail for us aside. Well, I mean, we got some stuff, right? That's crazy. Pelipper is surveilling us? How did he know? How did he know? What this? Oh, I think it's actually like Pelipper saying hi. Heard about you from Caterpie. Please, we need your help. Magnemite is in trouble. A strange electromagnetic wave flowed through a dungeon and it stuck together Magnemite and Magnemite. That isn't enough to form a Magneton. It's not complete the way it is now. Please, we need help. From Magnemite's friend. Wait, okay. So, new lore. Magneton is just 3 Magnemites, right? But if you get 2 Magnemites, now they're just fucking stuck, right? Which is really funny. Yes, let's do it. Let's go, baby. We're going to this dangerous dungeon. All right, we're going to Thunderwave Cave. Shit. All right, here we are. You are here. My friends are in this cavern. My friends should be on basement 6th floor. Okay, please help them. All right. Do those characters just pog? Yes. Yeah, your character pogs in this game, but this game came out before anybody knew what pogging was, so they didn't call it that. John PogChamp didn't invent PogChamp yet, so they couldn't do that. They couldn't say that. Is this? Yes, this is, wait, this does have, cool music, but it's not the cool music I'm thinking of. You cannot tell me the main characters are not autistic. I wouldn't try to tell you that, because you're right. They are very, autistic. They all have, a tasteful touch of autism, I would say. That's TTT. Also, do get it twisted between that and Trouble in Terrorist Town. Noted Gmod game mode or something. Okay, there's the stairs. There's probably another room up there, right? Get out of here. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Money, I am rewarded. I'm rewarded for taking an unnecessary risk. That's crazy. Choose a partner with the team command and set its tactics and IQ skills. Cooperation with partners is the key. Oh yeah, that's right. This is one thing that I didn't really utilize very much in this game, either when I was a kid or now. Why is there money on the floor? Somebody dropped it. It's mine now, bitch. You can actually, you can change which tactic you use for your partner. I think they made this more of a thing. They made this more useful in, like, Super Mystery Dungeon. Get him out of here. But, in this game, it's, like, not great, but, you know. But yeah, you can make them go fucking, like, belligerent and just run after everybody. I never usually change it from let's go together. Check IQ. Oh yeah, also, one thing that was in this game that I'm kind of regretful isn't in future Mystery Dungeon games, is I think your partner can actually use their, like, default regular attack. If you just press A, you do a little attack that's basically like tackle, you know? But it's weaker and doesn't require any, like, move PP, right? So it's like a free attack. Oh, goddammit. I forgot it doesn't have that mechanic. It's like a free move, you know? And in the later Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games, your partner actually doesn't have that. Like, they can't do that. Like, when they run out of moves, they will just use Struggle. But in this game, I think your partner actually can use a regular attack. Which I kind of like. I wish they didn't get rid of that. Imagine if it's the money from the person you're trying to save. I mean, I feel like the money would have just stuck to Magneton, right? I mean, the money is like metal coins, right? Magnemite, not Magneton, could just fucking, like, stick that shit to himself. I gotta actually face him first. I remember now. Also, the Poke in this world is supposedly, like, yen, right? That's the closest analog. So 10 Poke is, like, 10 cents. It's like, ah, sweet, a dime. I found a dime on the... Me first dime! You fucking go into Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, you find me first dime. Just sitting on the floor. Imagine trying to trade without opposable thumbs. Don't think about it too hard. It's a Pokemon game. Pokemon be fucking reading Adam Smith about the political economy of open markets, and they don't fucking have thumbs to open up the book or turn the page. They're fucking grabbing the money with their mouth and trying to put it on the counter. Ah, yes, eat an apple or whatever when you're hungry. Get your ass out of here, Voltorb. Also, Leech Seed in this game just really is not that useful, unfortunately. Kill the balls? Yes. Fuck those testicles. You know what? Fuck it. I said what I said. Testicles detected. Destruction mode activate. That's what's going through Bulbasaur's head right now. Ah, damn it. He has quick attack. Now that's just uncalled for. Alright, we gaining them stats. 58 cents, nice. I need to eat an apple, I think. Unless, actually, I might be able to get away with this. Tackle them in the balls. Yeah, that's true. That's one of the uses of a regular attack. I guess I theoretically should have used Growl there, but nonetheless. Oh yeah, you pick up a fucking rock. You just throw it at somebody. That's a thing you can do in this game. I think when you get down to like 20 hunger left is when you start to run into some problems. So I'm kind of like... I'm kind of stretching my luck as is. We'll see. If it gets that bad, I'll just eat an apple. Ow. Hello! ZDR Monster 14, welcome to chat. The kids game where you could starve to death. Yeah, that's true. It's kind of weird that they put that in the game. I don't know. I think, you know what this is it was based off of another, like, existing dungeon crawler series. So, it was probably just a mechanic in that game. Okay, yeah, I need to eat an apple. Okay, I had one more apple than I thought I did, which is good. I am, however, running out of usages of tackle. I'm running out of PP for my moves. Get your ass out of here. Oh no. Here, take Leech Seed or something. I don't know. I'm gonna tag you in for that one. No, don't do that. It's not what I meant to do at all. I meant to do this. There we go. If you hold Y, it lets you change your direction. Here, use Growl. There we go. Oh, he has Mud Slap now? That's sick. He's the main character. Yeah, wait, like, imagine you're a kid in this game. Like, if your character is, like, 10 years old, it, like, is the age of the expected demographic of this game, and they have to, like, learn how to not starve to death. Like, you're thrust into this world. It's like, shit, now I gotta worry about, like, where's my food gonna come from? I have to fucking survive out here. Damn, they just have that kind of... Well, I guess that's like $5. Here you go. Here's some allowance money. $5. And a Reviver Seed. That's pretty cool. Literal child labor? Yeah, basically. I can appreciate that there's something to the fact that a lot of the games that we play revolve around doing simulated labor in a way that's less laborious than real labor, right? So therefore, and because it's simulated, it's self-contained, you're not subject to the real physical pressures of labor. Basically, you're pretending to, well, you're pretending to live a different life, and that's like satisfying because you get to pretend that it's a better world, etc., etc. I don't know. There are certain ways in which video game is in fact like real life because art imitate life or something. Our main characters never have to sleep. Well, you sleep pretty frequently in this game. Also, I feel like I should address the title of the stream. I got my HPV vaccine, and my arm is sore and my head hurts. Such is the nature of like getting your shots. So that is now like that's why the title is that. World of Pokemon has no such thing as child labor laws, yank, or something like that. Well, America doesn't exactly, well, some places in America do have child labor laws, but some places in America don't. Something, the children yearn for the mines, something. You know how it is. Alright, let's save the game. A, B, A, B. Probably hang on to most of this stuff. That one line in the Minecraft movie I haven't watched. I haven't seen the Minecraft movie either. I don't know whether I should see it or what. There was no male seeking help from the rescue team. No male, no bitches. That's crazy. Day 2, still no bitches. It's an okay, friendly movie, from what I've heard. Okay. I have seen the one video where the fucking chicken jockey scene happens. Jack Black just says chicken jockey, and it like the person filming recording in the theater, which is illegal, but like who fucking cares, pans over to the audience, and everybody flips out, their fucking popcorn goes flying everywhere, and then it zooms in, there's a person that has brought an actual fucking chicken to the movie theater and is holding it up specifically for the scene where he says chicken jockey. I was like, why? You know what? Yeah, I would, if I knew that somebody was gonna bring a real ass chicken to the movie theater for the Minecraft movie, I would go. I would go to the theater just to see that because it'd be funny. You know? Unfortunately, the nearest movie theater is 2 miles away from me. And it's like a 20-something minute bike ride. God damn, I hate American suburbia. Pokemon Square. Pelipper Post Office. Maybe movie theaters should let chaos happen. Yeah, honestly, pay the people who clean up a way better wage. Give them like more training so you can clean more shit from like you can do a deeper clean when people freak out in the movie theater. Honestly, I feel like we need to bring it back. We need to run that back. We need more chaos in the movie theater. It needs to be like a hub of the community again, the way that it used to be. Although for that to happen, you actually need to have a community that it can be a hub of. So you can't really do that for a lot of movie theaters that are just in bumfuck nowhere in like the exurbs or the suburbs. But if it's a movie theater in an actual town or city, I feel like that's possible. You know, everybody freaks out. Then you pay your like movie theater janitors like actual money to come in and clean it up. And of course, you know, my ideal world would be one where the movie theater is jointly owned by the employees that work there. That'd be good, actually. You know, I am a socialist. It's been known to happen. And then like the people go crazy and it's like, yeah, I'm, I got to clean up some shit. Like maybe somebody poured soda everywhere, but let me just go, after this, I'll just wipe my tears away with the massive wads of cash that I'm going to earn from doing this job because it's an important job. You know what I mean? It's a very weird correlation that is suspiciously consistent throughout time. That in all societies that have hierarchy, the more essential work is for the bedrock of society to be maintained, the more slavish the relationship is between the worker and their work, and the less you get paid for it, right? So it's almost like the jobs that pay you jack shit are the jobs that absolutely have to exist, otherwise society will crumble and break apart. And the jobs that pay six figures are the jobs that you could go years without noticing that they were gone. You know? Remember when I was in school, teachers were mad at me for not respecting hierarchy. It's so fucking weird too that the most vehement ideological vanguards of hierarchies are the people who are the worst abused by it, right? Like where the little old women are the vanguards of patriarchy, the fucking the teachers and the working class are the vanguard of like alienation in the workplace and exploitation at the hands of the capital class, and like I don't know. Shit, like this is how you get like Latino voters, like Hispanic voters voting for Trump. It's some weird ass shit, you know. Kangaskhan storage. Okay, that's cool. It almost sounds like an SCP. Everything is an SCP. Ideologies are SCPs. As far as I know, an SCP just is a unit of something. It's like a thing, right? Kind of like the original meaning of the term meme is just a unit of information. So you know how like a gene is a unit of genetics. It is a unit of like DNA building blocks. Like a meme is simply a unit. It is the most basic unit of information. Right? And we use it also to mean like an internet joke, which is a meme, right? It is a unit of information. More like a weird phenomenon, so close enough. Let's see what's at the shop. I got some money in my bag, in my toolbox, in my wallet even. Max elixir, that could be useful. I'll buy one of these. Yes, please, thank you. I will take that. How much money do I have? 630. What is the other guy selling? Purchase, please. A shop without a roof. Can you imagine? I think they have a roof. No, wait, they don't. You are correct. I think they realized that in the next game, in Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Time, Darkness, and Sky, the Kecleon brothers have a roof on their shop. I think they realize. Like, shit. I don't think it ever rains in this game, which is crazy. I am going to go to the Persian Bank, probably. This is the only banker that I trust. There's a roof on their shop in Team Go-Getters out of the gate IRs. See? I've never played Team Go... In fact, I've never heard of Team Go-Getters. Up until now. Unless I'm getting hit by a very complicated ligma. It's an anime special based on this. Okay. I haven't seen the anime special, but that makes sense. Also, fair warning, as per my earlier rant, this is also a politics live streaming channel. I as much as I felt like there is a streamlined process to be had where I do like the podcast style live stream and just talk about a news segment and then edit, like do some light editing or whatever, I really felt like drained after that in a spiritual kind of way. Like my soul felt empty. Right? So I feel like I want to take a break from just doing news coverage for a while. And I want to do some gaming because I feel like that's when I'm at my most entertaining and I'm having the most fun. and I'll like talk politics incidentally as part of the gaming, but I don't want to necessarily do like news coverage where I'm reading an article, I think. Like, I get enough of that shit just in my free time. Vancoder looks like the adult version of the cat from Team Rocket. Coincidence? I think not. Yeah, it's the evolved version. Although I'm sure that's the joke, and I've ruined it by explaining the joke. Pokemon evolution, real life evolution are very weirdly different things. Yeah. Pokemon evolution is more like skipping puberty, right? Like you know, like you imagine what a kid looks like when they're like 8 years old. They're fucking in 3rd grade. They're running around on the playground. If you skip from that to like you're in your 20s, right? That's what Pokemon evolution is basically, right? Where it's like you're a little shit that you could pick up and throw like a football, and then the next moment it's like, ooh, glowy visual effects, and then like the next moment you can like you could like throw hands or something. I don't know. The joke is Team Rocket is evil, and I connected it to the bank. Ah, okay. Yeah, you're cooking, cause you know, I fucking hate banks. Oh, fun. We have actual missions now. Cool. Sleep Seed failed to return. I'm not a fighter. Okay, so we got some rescue missions. I think I'm going to just take all of the ones from Thunderwave Cave. Job list. I might even take these two. I'm not going to do them right away, I think. Yeah, I fucking hate central banks. Or banks in general. You're a contract worker? Yeah, that's true. Contract work if it wasn't, like, extremely fucking alienating. It's like odd jobs. ZDR Monster, thank you very much for the follow. I have to move this. There we go. Our team name will get better known by doing that. Yeah. I know how the job bulletin board works. I've played these kinds of games before. So I think I have the items that I need, right? So if let's do, I would do the Thunderwave Cave ones first, probably. Because there's more of those, and also Thunderwave Cave gives better EXP. Sleep Seed, and that's the only delivery mission. Okay, cool. Cool. Let's run. We will go to Kangaskhan store. I think I'm actually gonna store everything except for, let's see, I'll keep these 3. Max Elixir is important. Sleep Seed I obviously need for the mission. Reviver Seed is just good to have. I'll leave 1 apple. I'll put away all the, well, I'll keep 1 Oranberry. I'll put that stuff away. I don't think I need the gravel rocks, so I'll put those away too. Yes, I will put those in storage. Nope, that's good. Does that mean certain Pokemon need rocks to become adults? Yes. You need to touch the special rock, and then you turn into grown-up or something. Probably make that a metaphor for being trans. I mean, it is a literal transformation. Under construction, keep out Makukito Dojo. Okay, I'm kind of glad they don't let you enter this place too early, because you would get fucked up by the Pokemon that are in there. So, okay. So I have everything I need. I think I'm going to save the game before I go on this next mission. Also, I'm going to take this hat off now, if that's okay. There we go. Because I want to be able to listen to the sound in the game again. And I can't really wear my headset over the hat. So I'll just... There. Better. You imagine how messed up the Pokemon world would be if it had capitalism. I'm pretty sure it's depicting an early stage capitalist economy in Pokemon. Because that's the only version of capitalism that you can have, and it be, like, actually a cool world that isn't extremely exploitative. Like, imagine a monopoly on evolution stones. Yeah, that would actually be fucking horrible. Like, there's a company that monopolizes evolution items, and because they monopolize evolution items, all of their employees and their, like, enforcers can be evolved Pokemon. Meanwhile, they have control over this resource, this inelastic resource that everybody needs, and therefore will pay any price for. And if people rise up, they are threatened by the monopoly they have on violence, because obviously an evolved Pokemon is usually much stronger than an unevolved Pokemon, right? I feel like there's something there. Somebody should make a story like that, like a ROM hack of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon that deals with like a evolution, like an item business that has monopolized the trade of evolution items, and they maintain that monopoly via force, just like real world companies do, with the force of law and the force of, well, beyond the law, guys with guns. Although in this case, it's evolved Pokemon that benefit from that resource directly. You can see it now, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Explorers of capitalism. Exploiters of capitalism, dare I even say. I don't know. I feel like there's something there. Like, legitimately, there's like a cool writing opportunity. I feel like that could be a compelling story. All right, Thunderwave Cave. Blast Seed. Oh yeah. Should be illegal with how much potential there is in Pokemon Mystery Dungeons world. I mean, I feel like in some ways in a Pokemon world, in the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon world, it might not even be possible to write a convincing enough story based on the monopolization of a certain resource, because all resources in this world are theoretically infinite, because the premise of the game is that there's like the dungeons are procedurally generated each time you go in. In fact, they even talk about that explicitly in Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Time, Darkness, and Sky, that a Mystery Dungeon actually changes each time you enter, right? Which means the items change. So that's like, there's theoretically an infinite supply of items, no matter how rare. So it couldn't be like a true monopoly. So yeah, then I guess you could write in that like this company also monopolizes access to these Mystery Dungeons. That would make sense. Also, to the point that it should be illegal, law is written with force behind it. Like, again, this is kind of a rote line of argumentation, but it is nonetheless correct. The only thing that legal scholars can agree on as the universal basis for law is that the law is whatever you can be punished for with a stick by the lawman. Yeah, just like real life. There's enough for everybody, but it's still withheld from people. Like, there are a million different arguments, many of them contradictory, about what the basis of the authority of law is, or the basis of, like, what is the law. The only the only definition that every legal scholar, it seems like, can agree upon is that the law is whatever you can be forcibly and violently punished for engaging in or not engaging in, right? So, like, and it might seem kind of cynical, but basically the cops can shoot you, and that's what the law is, basically. Like whoever has the authority to shoot you for doing something, that's what the law is, irrespective of what it says on paper. The words on paper only matter insofar as somebody is willing to beat you with a stick to reflect those words. Which is why, by the way, immigrants are arrested for having never committed a crime. Even documented immigrants, hell, American citizens will be arrested just for looking too brown. And you can jaywalk all the livelong day. It is technically illegal to cross the street outside of a designated crosswalk, but nobody in their right mind would argue that people should be prosecuted for that, even though it's illegal on paper. You know? That was a joke. The legal part was a joke. Yeah, I know. I see people cross the road all the time. Yeah, and every time somebody crosses the road outside of a crosswalk, that is a minor legal infraction. That is a breakage of the law, at least on paper. But is it really illegal to cross the, like, in a practical sense, is it illegal to cross the street outside of a crosswalk? Fuck no. What cop is going to see a bunch of people crossing the street like that and then go over and try to, like, arrest every single one of them or fine them, like, charge them each a ticket or something like that, right? Like, theoretically, on paper, they might have the authority to do that, but practically, they would never be able to get away with it. It's not illegal if you have high enough charisma stats. Yeah, like, literally. It is not, like, things are not illegal if the numbers on your bank account or in your stock portfolio are high enough, or if your charisma stat, if you roll a fucking 10 on the charisma dice roll. You know? Not sure about what capitalism looks like in the core series, but in terms of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon World, I'd assume some Pokemon could bypass the capitalism like Poke currency by just trading items with other Pokemon. Yeah, I'm sure they could. But again, it's kind of like that probably wouldn't happen for the same reason that barter doesn't happen in the real world, right? Barter never really existed as a large-scale mode of economic exchange, except for cases of extreme tension, like during blood feuds, basically. But between, like, Family Feud featuring Steve Harvey, but the two families are actually feuding and want to kill each other. In cases such as that, barter did sometimes happen. But even in those cases, you would still use a standard of exchange, which we would understand as money, even if coin is not present. There are actually really old texts from Ireland, from pre-Christian Ireland, where the standard of value was something called a cumal, which is, in typical ancient society fashion, a cumal is a slave girl, right? There's an old text that I read about in archaeology in college, where basically these two individuals were exchanging items, and they said that, like, I will exchange to you the value of 7 kumal, right? There's a reason why society adopted money. I mean, yeah, it's like a codification of value in a system of exchange that is hierarchical and prioritizes, like, the ownership of things, particularly estates, right? So when we're talking about valuable items, it's like, oh yeah, I'll trade you the worth of 7 kumal for these things, right? But they didn't actually have 7 slave girls there. What they're talking about is an abstract standard of value that both people agree upon. It's like, basically, if you're trading items in a modern sense, it'd be like saying, I'll give you $50 worth of stuff, right? You're not directly exchanging the two items. You're exchanging what you both agree upon is worth $50. That if you were to exchange that for money, you could get $50 for it. Does that make sense? And that's how ancient money worked before there was coin. So even in a context like this, like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, I feel like you would have that, where you are simply dealing with money in absentia. I don't know if I'm making sense. Look, if somebody's like a better read on, like, the historical evolution of money throughout time, then, feel free to correct me on that. But I feel like barter actually wouldn't really be a thing. It would just be like misery all the way down in like monopoly capitalist world, even in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon where there's infinite resources. Anyway, leftist meme. We'll get back to playing the game here. What? I missed? It's fucked up. Companies would just protect the dungeons using those like factories. Yeah, in fact, it's kind of like a perfect mirror to the facilities of production in the real world, right? Where like theoretically infinite or functionally infinite, you know, unlimited resources, enough for literally everybody, come from these dungeons, right? But since these dungeons occupy a certain space, you know, then these like the companies could simply say, yeah, we own this space and everything on or in it, right? Such as the nature of private ownership of land. That way they have the legal right to monopolize whatever comes as a product of that land. It's simultaneously both being a factory owner and a landlord. Bro, I don't know why it's getting so warm in my room. It was not that warm today. It's actually kind of crazy. Last seed. Aren't I supposed to, like, find a sleep seed on this floor or something? Well, I have... Oh, it wasn't deliver a sleep seed. It was find a sleep seed. Well, I have a sleep seed. I don't know if that counts or not. Oh, there's Pidgey. Hello. No, keep exploring. Getting hungry. It's okay because I'm done. Oh, I have a held item? I didn't know that. Oh, okay, so that does count. If I just have a sleep seed in my inventory, that counts. That's good to know. Wow, I got 10 rocks. That's crazy. 5 points. Okay. 100 Pokey. I got $1. $1? That's crazy. I'm rich now. 5 receipt and 5 points. I think rank E, you get 5 points always. Here's your reward. $1 more? That's crazy. Rebuttal, do we know if Pokemon can form companies in the PMD world? We do know about stuff like rescue teams and guilds like Wigglytuffs. Were those really equivalent to corporations in our world? Then again, Chatot takes a portion of your reward. Yes, actually it would be. A guild would, in fact, be the equivalent of that. A trade guild is just yesterday's version of what like a modern-day company or business is now, right? Corporations enjoy different legal privileges than yesterday's guilds would have. But yeah, it functions in the same basic way, where there are people that work in the employ or under the umbrella of that guild. And, you know, Chatot, being the shithead that he is, he takes 90% of the product of the work that you do, the proceeds of your work. 90% of it goes to Chatot, or to the guild writ large. Functionally, most of that is just going to be seen by leadership. Corporation is just a group of people. No, a company is just a group of people. For example, in the army, there is a company, which is a unit of like a group of people. A corporation is a entity of commerce that is granted monopoly powers by the state. It actually used to not be a thing that every company was a corporation. That used to not be a thing. It was only like a select few large businesses or startups or state-run enterprises that will be granted temporary monopoly powers. The title of corporation used to be a very temporary thing. It didn't used to last for fucking ever. You know, it would just be like, okay, to protect your business for this many years so that you can have a stable base of operations, we will grant you certain exemptions from like trust laws or something like that, right? We'll grant you a monopoly over this product that you deal in this region or something like that. And so that's how you get a corporation. Nowadays, a lot of big businesses enjoy those kinds of legal protections, and they are much more permanent than they used to be. And that's precisely because the scale of business has grown, thus the concentration of capital in each business on average has grown, and because businesses are larger and with more capital and, you know, are taking more resources and growing and that sort of thing, they have much, much more influence on any given government. So they can be in the ear of those governments and utilize state power to grant themselves more power to accumulate more capital. It's kind of like an infinite cycle of draining resources into themselves, right? Pokemon World has a dark feature. What is it, like starvation or capitalism? It's the same thing. I don't know what voice I was going for, but what dark feature are you thinking of? Oh, I'm asleep again. It's shaking. An earthquake? It's getting worse. Damn. Actual earthquake and shit happening while I'm sleeping. Talk about how our scenario sounds like really likely in this universe. Yeah, I mean, anytime you introduce, like, what I'm describing is simply a later stage of capitalism than what is depicted in this game. Again, like, all art imitates life, right? And there was a time when capitalism did not look the way it does now, right? In fact, it looked so different. There were some scholars that even argue that what we have today is not capitalism anymore. It's more akin to another form of feudalism, right? You know, there's a reason I refer to early stage capitalism, because the cycle of market growth used to be something that was actually truly beneficial for both the working classes and the owning classes. There was a period of about a few hundred years between the 1200s and the like 15 or 1600s where there were actually, like, people were on average getting much, much wealthier with respect to the broader society they lived in, as a product of improving the land, which benefited themselves because they got a much more secure food supply, and also benefited the landlord. Thus, the landlord didn't, like, hound them for extra grain or whatever. But it was once the market started to percolate into truly every single area of life, including labor itself, when you started depending on money just to survive, that's when a lot of the very, very dystopian elements of capitalism start to really, like, rear their ugly heads, basically, right? I do remember watching a video where Piplup gets radicalized and tries being communist or something, but fears Wigglytuff when she arrives. We don't even know her opinion on communism. Piplup just assumes she has the same opinion as Chatot or something. Dang, there's a video like that? That's crazy. I would love to see that. That'd be funny. We are Doug Trio. Last night during the earthquake, our child Diglett was attacked. He was whisked away to the peak of a tall mountain. Also worth noting, sometimes the people who are have opinions very critical of capitalism are not the people who are the worst exploited by it. I've touched on this earlier, but, like, a lot of times you get, like, fucking... I mean, shit, right? Zoran Mamdani is a socialist and fucking Wall Street voted for the man, right? You get people who are, like, millionaires and members of the upper middle classes but are well educated, and they're like, please God, fucking repossess some of these assets, whatever you need to do. I'll pay more in taxes, just whatever. Please make society not shitty and exploitative and extremely alienating. Meanwhile, the working classes, who have seldom a nickel to their name, are like, no, well, what if I don't want to pay higher taxes? Keep those taxes low. What if I'm the billionaire someday? Then I want to get all the hard-earned proceeds of somebody else's work. Yeah, it's like wealth correlates to education, and education correlates very strongly to having left-leaning opinions, right? Or to at least understanding the critiques of capital, which creates this weird dynamic where the upper middle classes and wealthy classes are the movers and shakers, and the very poorly educated working classes have very reactionary tendencies, but are nonetheless otherwise susceptible to just be moved in one direction or the other if the right winds of propaganda strike them. What? Diglett was abducted? That's fucked up. I'm gonna go help that guy. I'm gonna help him. Yeah, education, like, well, I wouldn't even say education forces you to go left or right. Education moves you left, right? Unless you're a sociopath. If you're a sociopath, then education presents the choice. Do you want to make the world better or do you want to make the world worse? And theoretically, that choice is present for everybody that goes through the education system. But ultimately, most people choose the path of, I want to make the world better. Okay, great. Then that means, like, I don't know, understanding urban design and local economics and taxing wealthy people more and having more redistributive programs and like reorganizing production and whatever else, right? Sounds like a lot of people are getting kidnapped. Yeah, what the fuck is this? The 1980s? Or I should say the 70s. The 70s was when all the fucking serial killers were running around. What? He's back. Oh yeah, by the way, Doug Trio based poly representation. I was just mentioning it's unlikely to stay moderate. Yes, education is definitely a radicalizing force for sure. The difference being that it is a radicalizing force for good and, you know, usually against hierarchy. And, you know, the vanguards of hierarchy don't tend to like that. Mount Steel. Let's go. That was not a very enthusiastic let's go from my mans. All right, let's go to town first, and I want to see what they got at the store, at the shop. Ugh, excuse me. Remember the killer clown phenomenon? No, I don't, in fact. Was that in, like, the 2010s or something? What was that, like, when people discovered that, like, oh yeah, if clowns can be fucking scary sometimes? Because it's a big guy with a, like, extremely bombastic painted-on expression that's, like, kind of off-putting. Even though hierarchy is supposed to exist, I'm not sure if it exists in nature, even though there's a whole food chain. Hierarchy is a natural thing in some respect, insofar as, like, social structures in other animals. However, in all of its manifestations, there's seldom evidence that hierarchy improves the material condition of the social unit that it governs, right? Like, the hierarchy that humans are kind of programmed to be susceptible to is very tribalistic, so it will work on a small scale, right? There's a pro-hierarchy and anti-hierarchy bias that humans have that are very contradictory the larger in scale society exists at. But they are oftentimes oddly compatible when you have a very small unit of societal organization. For example, a small village with a village elder, right? People would defer to a charismatic village elder, the bias towards the strongman, the bias towards authority, towards trusting authority. But there's also baked into that, there's a bias towards direct democracy, knowing and participating in your community, not as somebody subservient to the village elder, but as an equal who simply respects the experience of the elder, right? You have the pro-democracy bias and a pro-hierarchy, thereby anti-democracy bias, that at the smallest level are compatible with each other. And that is like a very basic animal instinct that humans have, right? But then you extrapolate it to higher and higher levels. For example, the scale of a country, right? Even if it's not a very big country, you know, it only has to be a few thousand people strong for these biases to start really clashing against each other. Now, the degree of social abstraction is much larger. You no longer have the dynamic where the village elder is somebody that you know personally and can trust. It's a much more parasocial relationship. So hierarchy, once you extrapolate it larger than maybe 100 people, is fundamentally incompatible with direct democracy. And direct democracy is what keeps communities connected to themselves and functional. Right? All the studies, all the political studies that we have in experiments of direct democracy, for example, like at the local and state level, citizen referendums, all the evidence that we have is that, when people are given political power and left to their own devices relatively outside of a broader parasocial propaganda network, conditions tend to improve. Democracy is good, and we know that from data, right? Hierarchy is bad, and we know that from data. Like shit, think of like every single policy and political change that comes as a result of increasing authority of the strongman, consolidation of authority, the acute sharpening of hierarchy in America, in Germany, in the UK right now, in like any country across the world, and like we have a robust sample size of hierarchy making the world worse, and an equally robust but not quite as visible sample size of direct democracy making the world better. Leftist meme again. But yes, hierarchy is a thing that's like natural to exist, but I don't want to appeal to a naturalistic fallacy, right? But because another thing that's natural is cancer. And I don't think cancer should exist personally. Not a fan of that. Oh yeah, that's right. I didn't see anything interesting here. My anti-hierarchy personality is the deepest being. Sounds like the origin of kings. It is, very much so. A charismatic parasocial strongman that is able to unite the community in support of themselves, potentially even to the detriment of that own community. Did I want to sell anything? I'm thinking about this. Yes, I wanted to sell these gravel rocks. How do I select multiple? Can I not select multiple? I swear there's a... No, that's Shift Enter? Enter is select. Okay, no, I guess I have to sell them one at a time. Yes, I will sell these rocks for 50 cents. Thank you. Where it goes, funnily enough. One scanner own type of hierarchy? I'm not sure. I think autocorrect might have butchered that sentence. I want to sell anything else. Probably not. Also, it's a good thing food isn't perishable in this game. All food in this game is non-perishable, which is great. I think actually in one Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game, I'm kind of like... I have mixed feelings about it from a gameplay perspective, but it's really interesting that they decide to implement this. There's one Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game where you actually have to worry about the perishable nature of food items. Like, food in that game is perishable. You have to use it up within a certain time frame. I meant America versus King. Yeah, but I feel like one scanner own type of hierarchy. I don't know what that means. Oh, okay. So if you click L, if you use L, then you can highlight, which I shall. Actually, I'll keep one of these blast seeds. That might be useful for the boss. I thought orange berries don't go bad. I think orange, one type. I'm gonna be real, I still don't know what you were cooking. You're probably correct, but I feel like, I don't know, that's like the one word that autocorrect threw off that made me not understand the entire sentence. I don't, yeah, but ZDR Monster, I don't think orange berries are among the food items that go bad. I think it's just apples. I think there's one, is it Super Mystery Dungeon? It's either Super Mystery Dungeon or Mystery Dungeon... One type of hierarchy. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, yes. I get it now. That, like, the forming of America was just the supplanting of one kind of hierarchy with another. Yeah, that tends to happen. Gates to Infinity? Maybe it was. You had to sell apples immediately. Yeah, it's like you had to sell them or, like, take them with you in a dungeon. And, like, you had to be pretty careful not to hold on to them for too long. Maybe it was Gates to Infinity. I don't know. It's been a while since I played Gates to Infinity, so. But yeah. It was one of those things where, from a gameplay perspective, I don't know how I feel about it. But I respect the effort. You know, since this game has always had, like, the food management that you have to worry about. I will store the money, please. Thank you. Also, I know I'm supposed to go rescue Diglett, but I am also going to... Oh, there's nothing on the bulletin board. Okay, never mind. I think maybe it's Mount Steel that has the really cool song that I'm thinking of. I was 10 years old. I'd be freaking out about money management and food management in this situation. Yeah, I feel like 10-year-old me might be well, actually, auto-corrected murder a little bit. Ah, I see. Wait, what? I feel like as 10-year-old me, I'd be like oddly cued into the situation because I first played this game, not this game, but Explorers of Time when I was 8 years old. But 8-year-old me would be freaking out in this world. Like I would not know what to do. Welcome to a rescue team. I will read it. Yay! Store? Okay, let's go to Mount Steel. Oh, there's a little go icon. Nice. Alright, what do we got? Mount Steel. Yes, this has sick music. Or actually turn it up a little bit. There, that's probably fine. What? Doug Trio's here again. Imagine an iPad kid in this situation. Oh, they'd be cooked. They'd be 100% cooked. Dunzo. Dunyan rings. No contest. Mount Steel. Alright, let's see what we got here. What kind of Pokemon we got showing up? Zigzagoon. That isn't very Steel of you, game. Can't help but notice. Okay, that is much more Steel of you, game. Also, ouch. I know there would be iPad kids in the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon world. 3DS, DS, DSi kids. Yes, that's true. I was actually more of a Game Boy Advance kid than a Nintendo DS kid. Get him out of here. Oh, this fucker. Get out of here. Baby's first super effective attack. Alright. I probably shouldn't be exploring the entire floor. That's a habit I picked up from, like, other games. I don't know. I kind of want to be thorough, but yeah, I'm already down to 85 hunger doing this shit. Get him out of here. No, he did it back to me. Idiot. Okay, thank you. I was saying I played Pokemon White. It's too stupid to know. About learning moves so I couldn't complete the game. Oh, we had very different experiences. I was one of those kids that knew about how like learning moves worked and stuff, but I would try to solo the game with my starter. When I played Fire Red, when I was like 4 years old, that was my experience. And then when Heart Gold Soul Silver came out, I figured out, okay, or not Heart Gold Soul Silver, actually Pokemon Platinum, I figured this out. I was like, wait, actually, there's so many more cool Pokemon than just the starter. And Pokemon Platinum was the first game where I actually beat the Elite Four and Champion through, like, building a team of different Pokemon. Although I did kind of, like, halfway solo it with my starter, because Infernape is just that good for single player. And I was also, like, 30 levels higher, or, like, 20 levels higher than the game expects you to be, because I had and still have a very level grindy playstyle. Pokemon Black and White are probably, like, aren't starters overpowered? They're supposed to be more powered than, more powerful than most of the Pokemon you can find, like, early on. And, at, like, from early to mid-game, basically. But they're not overpowered. In fact, some starters are actually quite bad. Like, funnily enough, in terms of competitive usage, Charizard isn't that good unless you account for, like, Dynamax and Megas. Like, up to and including Gen 5, Charizard was not that good. The worst of the Kanto starters. Meganium and Ralligator, I think. Yeah, if you pick Chikorita in Generation 2 or 4, you were having a bad time with it, you know? Like, the beginning of the game is rough if you pick Chikorita. And Meganium isn't that good either. All three of the Gen 3 starters are actually competitively viable at high level. Isn't competitive the best of the best? No, competitive is just the format where Pokemon, where like, Pokemon's abilities are gauged competitively. So, like, Pokemon that are really good for single player might be pretty ass competitively, and then Pokemon that you might pass over for single player might be incredible in the competitive scene, you know? So, like, starters tend to be pretty good in single player, but not all of them are that good in competitive. For example, I think none of the Gen 2 starters are that great competitively. From what I remember, it's possible that Generation 9 has changed things. Meanwhile, all of Generation 1 starters are really good in single player, but Charizard was, for a while, was not that good in competitive play. Then you have Pokemon that are not... Fuck, I did it again. You know, Pokemon like... I don't know. What am I thinking of? A Pokemon that's, like, not that good in the main game, but is good competitively. You know? I'm having trouble thinking of one off the top of my head. Maybe Weezing? A lot of defensive walls, like walling Pokemon, are maybe not the greatest for main game purposes, but could be very good for competitive play. The game is weirdly good competitively in Stadium 2, I've heard, but she fell from grace later on. Is that so? I haven't played much of the Stadium games, but cool. I'm glad that there's somewhere that Meganium gets to show off some stuff, you know, and not just kind of get beat up constantly. That's nice. Mr. V take about Pokemon. Don't want to have a Pokemon. I want to be the Pokemon. True. Real ones, no. Get him out of here. Please help me. See, there's what I was talking about earlier. Your partner actually can use regular attacks. Of course, he did it at a pretty inopportune time, but nonetheless. I'm going to use Leech Seed here. This is kind of brain buster. I'm trying to think of a Pokemon that's not that good in single player, but is good in multiplayer. Because I know they exist. You teach a Pokemon how to write? Oh, yeah, sure. Sure you could. I mean, they're... Yeah. Nice. Item. I probably need to keep a more steady supply of max elixirs on me. Because I am chewing through these move usages right now. Let's do the classic, set up a Leech Seed. Old fanfiction, the creator made a video about. Ash's Chikorita wrote Chica, Chikori, Chica, and so on. That's interesting. How much experience do I need to the next level? 267? Okay, we're getting there. Don't make that mistake again. Low enough on move usages as it is. I'll try to get away with what I can. Mount Steel. $58, $86. Getting hungry. Okay, it's food time. Give me that shit. Okay, yeah, it's when you drop below 20 that starts to happen. Give me that apple. Yummy. How many floors are there in Mount Steel, I wonder? I don't remember fully. The idea of trainers makes me uncomfortable. Yeah, the main games, like with Pokemon trainers and stuff, when you think about it, seems like really sus. Pokemon in that fanfiction talked with each other, but aren't comprehensible by humans. That's interesting. I think that's, like, a real thing in the Pokemon world, too. That, like, Pokemon can understand each other. Like, they know what they're all talking about. But the trainers just don't, like... Well, understand them to varying degrees. Like, there's a language barrier. And there go my move usages. Okay. I am gonna... There we go. Let's, I don't know, maybe I'll have to not explore so much of each floor from here on out. Okay. Just gonna do that first. Certain Giga Chad Pokemon? I see. Bide. Get out of here. That move is dangerous if you let him charge up. Get him out of here. This music is a fucking vibe, dude. Certain Pokemon could just straight up speak English, it's never explained. Yeah, like Mewtwo. Wait, what? Lapras was using telepathy in the anime before Mewtwo did in the first movie. I only know that because the banned episode the Lapras was in is included in an MKV capture of a Pikachu Summer Vacation VHS. That's crazy lore, dude. I fucking love Pikachu's Summer Vacation or whatever the fuck that like little intro movie was. That was fire. Also, I remember that movie. Fucking the one where Mewtwo creates a bunch of clones. He's like, I have a messianic complex. I'm going to create a new world by killing all the humans or some shit. Have you done a Pokemon Smasher Pass? No. I feel like, okay, there's two different types of Pokemon Smasher Pass, both of which are way too funny for me to recreate in a like entertaining way, right? There's the one that Markiplier did, which is absolute cinema, by the way. You know, where he's like, I will not explain anything. I will not take questions. Thank you. And he just, like, that's just it. And then there's the, like, 3 or 4 part series that Vosh did. I don't know if you guys know this, but, like, I don't know if you probably have heard of the YouTuber Vosh. Famed fucking video game live streamer, etc., etc. He did a Pokemon Smasher Pass series, which was incredibly funny. From the opposite end, which is where he is talking about, like, he's riffing with chat and all that shit. You know? And I feel like between those two, there's kind of like the full range. I almost wouldn't know what to do. Like, how, like, because it's like, well, shit. You know? Like, I guess I could just do it my way, but that might seem too similar to one or the other, right? Like, I feel like, I don't know. I don't know if it would be as entertaining, but I guess that comes from a perspective, I suppose, of, like, creator being critical of their own content or something. I don't know. It's like, it's good content and I'll consider it, right? But there's like the little nagging voice in my head which is like, other content creators have already done this. And it's like, well, yeah. But plenty of content creators have done lots of things. It's like a meme, a social trend or whatever, that it's like fun to hop onto. You know? EP checker. What? What did they mean by this? Personally, any Pokemon that I smash, I'd want them to dominate me. Average sub behavior. I could probably relate to that, honestly. Oh, it's only 9 floors. Okay, so I was probably fine. Diglett is over there. The suspiciously boss arena shaped 9th floor. You guys know about Diglett's real form? Here, hold on. Tom and Jerry Smasher Pass. All pass except for the cats Tom falls in love with. And maybe Zoot Suit Tom. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Zoot Suit Tom, 100%. And yeah, the cats are cute. The ones that they make, like, Tom interested in. Okay. Where is the, Of course, the obligatory Diglett meme. Bro, how come Diglett is stuck there? He could just, like, punch the shit out of Skarmory and leave. Doesn't he know that fighting moves are super effective against steel? Idiot. I mean, when you look like this, well, what's stopping him, right? Come on, dude. Real body revealed. Personally, I feel like he could just grab Skarmory by the throat and start choking the chicken, in parentheses, metaphorically. In parentheses, literally. He doesn't want to release his power level? That's probably true. Yeah, imagine Diglett's just a fucking muscular guy under there. Imagine if that got out, everybody would be like, bro, what the fuck? I haven't slept in days because the earthquakes frightened me so every night we had them. Earthquakes were caused by this brat's ilk running wild underground. My brother in Christ, please use your head. This kid is like 5. Alright, bet. We'll just throw hands then. Have a rock? Have some of this too. Oh, does he not lose accuracy? What I'm gonna do this. Okay, that was actually easy. We found a racist in the Pokemon Dungeon game. Racist alert. Loud incorrect buzzer or something. Yeah, that's true. Skarmory is fucking racist with like... Yeah. In order to neither get in trouble with use government nor recite overuse meme verbatim, I'm going to ask Skarmory to release the Pichu list. True! That's true. Release the Pichu list. The victims deserve that closure. They need to know that all the fucking other high roller rolling it with the big boys fuckos are gonna go into the, I don't know, into the fucking oubliette or something. Whatever the equivalent is in the Pokemon world. Can't see the bottom. What will we do? We can't get across this. Oh shit! It's them! We got word of this. We can rescue Diglett from the sky. Hold on to us tight. Don't be scared. We won't make the mistake of zapping you. Diglett's muscular form revealed. My feet still feel like they're walking on air. Coincidence? He's the muscular guy. It's real. He has feet, bro. That's crazy. And with that, oh, you've been rescued. No, it's Doug Trio. Thank you for everything. They just revealed that he had feet. Yeah. It's, guys, it's real. He really, like, I'm telling you. He really looks like this. Diglett really looks like this. That's the only way that makes sense, right? He has feet. He has to look like this. It's foolproof. Actually, Diglett himself said that he has feet. He's like, dang, I could, you know, my feet were dangling over nothing. I was so spooked. And they were like, brother, he has feet? Many such cases. Somebody honking their horn out there. What the fuck? Stays in the ground so he doesn't attract people. That's facts. He's so modest, he only shows his head. Alright. $5. That's crazy. Ginseng. That means those tiny robots carried a giant muscular man. Yeah, don't underestimate the power of Magnemites. Also, Diglett being an extremely muscular guy and having the perfect technique, naturally, means that he could probably very easily make his body very stiff and easy to carry. You know, as opposed to being dead weight. Like, if you go limp, then you're dead weight. But if you tense up your muscles in a certain way, I think you make your body stiff, which gives... It might not, like, literally make you lighter to carry, but it gives the illusion of you being lighter because, like, any given point is, like, more sturdy or something. I don't know. Yes, we need more members. Magnemite. Nice. Okay. You find place for Pokemon to live. Ah, I see. Yeah, this is one of my favorite features about this game is that you actually purchase access to the different areas where Pokemon live so that they can, like, hang out there. Those robots didn't like Mudkips? Yeah, well, they didn't like the concept of being homeless, and they didn't like that the Mudkip hadn't thought it through. You're purchasing land? You're purchasing access to the land. You don't actually own the land. See, if you owned the land, then that would open it up for speculation and profiteering and extracting rent from its produce. But that's not what happens. You're paying a landlord. That's more like what you're doing. If you have to purchase access to the land, does that mean someone owns it? Yes, either Wigglytuff or the Wigglytuff Club owns the land, and then you pay to gain access to that land. I think it's just like, obviously I'm imposing a lot of economic logic onto this where there is none because it's a kids game and they didn't think it wasn't that deep. But this is like a one-time thing where in real life, if you were purchasing access to a plot of land or a parcel of land, you would have to pay regular charges for the use of that land. You would have to pay rent. Anyways, yes, psychic type Pokemon brainwashing me. Ooh, you want to be femboy or something? Ooh. It's probably true. I don't know. And I will now... I'll see if somebody's live to raid them. But I'll probably come back next time with more Mystery Dungeon gaming. Okay. Azan? Sure, I'll raid Azan. Ah! That damn audio. Oh shit, he's gaming too? That's crazy. Is he playing right now? What is this? I've seen this game before. I don't know what it is, though. Alright. Y'all have fun over on the Hasanabi broadcast. I am going to hop off for the evening, and I'll see you guys next time. I may need to clip some stuff in the meantime. This was a very fun stream. Sykkuno is here? What the f- That's crazy.